Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Tuesday night Big Daddy show. And you've seen all the sponsors beforehand, everything, all my wonderful sponsors. And Torrance gonna my guest this evening will be getting I know the bag's here somewhere, a Big Daddy goodie bag. And the only
Okay.
thing missing this year, starting in 2024, will be an 8x10 autograph by me, which they can use it to start kindling and start a fire. But tonight I have one of the he's not a new and up and comer. He's been around for a while, but I just found out about this man, watching this man and just being excited. And he just was co-host of the DJ Collective in
Yeah.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Atlanta. We're in Atlanta this time.
Oh,
We're in
that's right. You were in
hometown. We're
Atlanta.
in
That's right.
hometown.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. You were in
Yep.
Atlanta. So, my friends, would you please welcome Mr. Toryn Lankford?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you having me on. It's a definite pleasure to be here.
Mine, my friend,
You know,
mine.
it's been a pleasure to be here. You know, I've admired you from afar. I've seen your name in the rafters for many years.
That just means I'm an old goat, so which is good. Which
Oh
is
man,
that.
hey, you know what they say? Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time, you know?
But you know what? As I tell all the people that be watching this and listening and whatever, I want these folks, everybody to know the future of our business is in great hands with everybody I have on. And this gentleman I have with me tonight is one of those. And it just, the smile on his face, he's a great family man. He's an amazing, I've watched his stuff entertaining wise. I've seen it, I've heard him speak, everything else. So, first question, of course, out of the gate. How did you get started in this business?
Oh man, yeah. So this is actually a pretty good story in my opinion. So I actually got introduced to DJing in college, right? So obviously I'm from Atlanta. I think everybody who talks to me know I'm from Atlanta, born and raised. I was born in Grady Hospital. Like there's no transplant here. Like I'm from the city. But went to school. I started off school at Georgia Southern, which is kind of I guess it's one of the bigger schools here in Georgia. But a good friend of mine from middle school was actually a DJ, and he lived in the dorm next to me. I was like, hey, give me some lessons, show me. And this was back in the turntable and actual vinyl days. And man, I was absolutely horrible, like like absolutely horrible. So tried
Got to
again.
start somewhere.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, but I mean, I was horrible, like horrible. And you fast forward a lot of years, and honestly, what ended up happening was in grad school, I had a cousin who had started a DJ business, mobile DJ business here in the city, doing like karaoke, bars, a few clubs, things like that. And of course, at the time, I was again, like I said, I was finishing up my MBA. I was working in corporate IT. Mobile DJ. And he was just like, hey, you speak really well. You speak pretty good. You know how to talk to people. Why don't you come out and start shadowing me? And I started working with him. So worked with him for a couple of years. And we found our way into the wedding space. And then a few years later, we decided to kind of go different directions. And that's when I started Exquisite Sounds. And we haven't looked back since. So we went from kind of the part-time hustle, trying to figure it out,
Sure.
to I went full-time with Exquisite Sounds in 2018, and that became my like full-time job. I tell people now, like, hey, we made it through COVID.
Amen to that, my friend. Amen.
Yeah, so we made it through COVID, and yeah, we're here. So we're a small multi-op, you know what I mean?
How
There's
many
six.
people you have working for you?
Yeah, so there's six of us, including myself. We got a couple of photo booths. So, by the time you factor in photo booth attendants, DJ assistants, there's about 11 people kind of, give or take on a really good weekend.
Right.
About 11 people really working. And yeah, I mean that's it. Like I say, we service everywhere. I won't say we're just in Atlanta. Obviously, a majority of our events are here, but we'll get down to Savannah, we'll get over to Birmingham, Greenville every now and then. I've done weddings in, Mexico, Italy, Jamaica. Like, I mean, we work. You
Aren't
want
those
to
great?
roll. Yeah, they're
Aren't
awesome. They're awesome.
those,
Yeah.
on the road,
Yeah.
but now do you have a lighting division too?
Yeah,
You
so
know,
we do pretty much DJs, obviously lighting, photo booths, we do the enhancements. And we're kind of getting pulled a little bit into some of the AV stuff a little bit.
mhm.
So I'm
It's
trying to
always nice to have.
yeah, I'm trying to take lots of notes and figure out, hey, like how do we do this? So yeah, so that's everything we do. That's everything we do. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're married. How many kids do we have?
Oh man, so yeah, so I'm married. I have three kids. I have two that most people always see because they're younger. But I've been married 12 years. I think my wife is watching. So if she is, I may have that wrong. But but again, my wife is from Georgia too. So like everybody knows, if they don't know me, they know my wife. Um, so
Perfect.
yeah, I'm often like DJing and they're like, "Hey, tell Julia we said what's up." And I'm like, "I don't even know you." But
That's
they know my
okay.
wife. Yeah, they know my wife. But yeah, I got two girls at home, and like I said, I'm lucky to have like my mom. I got my sister, my niece, cousins, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's it. That's my story.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Um, what drives you, Toryn? What drives you? What is your passion for not just not just the DJ, but the mobile entertainment industry?
Yeah, I think that that's a really good question, right? Because I feel like a lot of people be like, oh, I just, I love this, I love that. For me, honestly, the thing that motivates me and the thing that's ironic about it is like even when I worked corporate IT, one of the big things that was always like really, really motivated me was actually helping our client. So like I worked, I had a couple different jobs in my, IT background where like we were like client facing. And that was always a thing that I really enjoyed. Like just walking away from like that client and being like, hey, I helped them. And now when it comes to like entertainment, it's like, well, how do we help that client have like one of the best days of their life? Or how do we help that client who might be a corporate client just, she was stressed about the holiday. Like I had a consultation yesterday with with someone from a company that I just did their holiday party, and they're just like, you made it so easy last year for us to have the holiday party. We didn't have a choice but to come back because you made it so easy and you made it so enjoyable. And so for me, like that's it. Like I know some guys, they want to be big speakers and and give advice and all that thing. And I think that's great. But me, I like helping people. Like I like helping my guys. I like being in a position where I like being in a position, honestly, where like I know, and I'm not gonna come out and like make this a big deal, but like where like I know that we help to like put food on your table, right?
Your
Or
guys, absolutely.
yeah, like we help put food on your table. We help give you like different experiences. And then for the clients, just like, hey, listen, we made a difference. We didn't just come and like play records and just kind of be in the corner. Like we came and we offered advice, or we said, hey, listen, like let's put some lights in here. Let's do some monograms around the room. Or like to your point, we were talking earlier, let's not just feel like we have to do things in this order. Like you want to change your dress? Let's maybe change up the how we're doing this so that you can change your dress so that you get that second look. So we reintroduce you into the reception, so that you have the time that all these years you've been planning this wedding. This is the night. Like let's make it so that tonight is your night. So yeah, for me, it's all about my passion is the client. Like I'm gonna be really honest. Like that's the only reason I like doing bridal shows. Like I just like talking to the clients. Like even if you don't book us, I still want to be helpful to you. Like that's where I am with it.
They'll remember that. They're
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
remember you no matter what you do because you made them feel the feels.
yeah, yeah,
Does that
exactly.
make sense? Does that make
Yeah, for
sense?
sure, for sure.
Because,
Sure.
weddings especially,
Yeah,
and I do bar and bat mitzvahs up here. And bar and bat mitzvahs are a totally different ball game than weddings.
yeah.
But, but they're both the same amount of craziness, if you will,
Mm,
because like weddings, they've never done this before, and they're never going to do it again,
right.
hopefully. And once they finally figure out that you're so excited to do their wedding, and
Mm,
sometimes your brides and grooms are like, wow, he's more excited than we are.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Which is going to
yeah,
get them. That's the biggest thing right now, real quick, is if they talk to me, not just email me or whatever,
yeah,
the face to face, the talking on the phone, whatever, I'm going to book
yeah,
95% of my weddings because I want them to know that I'm as excited to do their wedding
yeah,
as I'm excited to walk down the street. You know,
yeah,
is that if that makes sense?
yeah.
But
No, no,
you know that it. I love your thinking. I love
yeah.
your thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things like if you're really passionate about it and you genuinely enjoy it, like I genuinely enjoy probably 90% of the DJ biz and being in the moment as like the DJ, like, oh man, that's awesome. But to me, like I tell people now, I'm like, I had a guy in here earlier, it's like, hey, DJing honestly now is really the easy part. It's really all the it's all the extra stuff. Like, how can we make this easier for you? How can we make this a better experience? Like, that's all the stuff. But yeah, I love a good party too, though. I'm not gonna front. I love a good party.
The build, it's now more, we've become more of an event planner kind
Yeah,
of thing. It's
yeah,
the building blocks leading to most incredible day of their life.
yeah, yeah.
And
100,
and I love that stuff.
yeah,
I love that
100%,
stuff.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think
Now,
the more you do it, the more you kind of that's what you not ultimately, but you definitely you fall into it because you know so much about it. And you almost can kind of like not necessarily predict their outcome, but you can really, really help drive their outcome because you know how to kind of like let's take this turn and we'll go this way. So it's great. It's great.
but and again, and I say this every thing every time I'm on here. We were born with two of these and one of these. Use
100%.
these more than this because it's amazing what's going to happen if you listen.
Yeah.
Even at the event, like during cocktail hour, walk around and you hear something that, wow, maybe this, just that little nugget would
Yeah.
make a difference like nobody's business. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Torn, we could talk forever.
Oh yeah.
I could be, we only got a half hour, but I could talk with you forever about this stuff. I want 3 lessons or takeaways that you can share with our people
Hmm.
that they can implement at least one or two of them within the next week or so.
Mm. All right. Well, I think my answers may be a little different. So the very first thing I'm gonna give you four.
Go.
The first thing I'm gonna say is if anybody's watching, go back and watch the previous episodes because there's a lot of guys on here who a lot smarter than me and been doing it a lot longer that gave some really really good advice on this and girls as well, let me say that, and girls because it's been a mixed bag of folks, but like it's been some really good advice. I think when I think about that though, my answers are slightly different, right? I think my first thing is I think folks have to block out the noise, right? I think there's a lot of things coming at people right now in this space. A lot of like, oh, you should do this or you should do that, and some of it is valid. I'm not saying some of it's not. Again, I don't know everything. Okay, I'm not professing to be
Right.
that guy. But I think you have to block out the noise, and even again, sometimes I have to tell myself like, hey, like, don't worry about all that. Do what you got to do, but just block out the noise, right? And I think that leads into my number two, which even you and I have been in some spaces where like I've been able to kind of stand up and say, hey, listen, before I got here, I didn't realize that I had as much potential to do these different things in this field until I came into this room. So I would say that as folks are going, you have to decide what your path is going to be because as you alluded to when we started, like, some of us are now the future of this business. And it's not just DJing. It's not just it doesn't have to just be like a wedding. It could be large scale corporate events. It could be production in AV. It could be that you go from just being a DJ to honestly helping produce these events. So I think it's really important as you do it to really think about your path. And again, maybe that path is I just want to be a single guy or girl, or maybe I want to be multi-op. Maybe I want to get a partner. Maybe I want to, have a, two different businesses under one umbrella, you know, whatever it is, but just ultimately think about your path. I think that's key. That's really, really key. And then I think my last one, honestly, my last one is invest in a good coach or mentor. Like, you know, I'm sure there's a few that we could plug. I think we mentioned Joe, you know, before. I think and honestly, I think Joe and Mike Walter are how I got introduced to you, and even
Yes.
even on and DJ News and all that stuff. Like just back in the day, you know, because I was one of those. I think I might have been like the second class of like PhDJ, like back in the day. So did that class. I've been to a few different expos, Midwest Live, obviously, like you said, the DJ Collective. I've done coaching with Brian Bonacisi. I bought all the Joe Bunn DVDs.
Are
Uh,
you in Mentor Pods?
I'm in Mentor Pods. Don't tell Matt
That,
because I'm notoriously for not doing my homework. But
that's okay. You'll get a C+ then. That's all. That's all
yeah,
that
yeah,
matters.
yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah. But I mean, but even then, like Mentor Pods, I mean, not to say I'm the smartest one in the room, but I told somebody else at Collective when they asked me about Mentor Pods, I said, hey, to me, having gone to school and gotten an MBA, the best thing about Mentor Pods is that like you actually have a business. Like when I was getting an MBA, I was just getting an MBA. I was just playing with fake money. I wasn't really playing with like, oh, I really need to balance the books or look at like what the marketing budget is. Like, I had a day job. But yeah, Mentor Pods is amazing. I will definitely say that. But whether it's Mentor Pods, whether it's again, I think Jason Bryan and Joe got a new thing they're spinning up. Or just going to shows. I've heard on some of these interviews where you're just like, hey, listen, like, go to these shows. The shows are great. The shows are great. Like
If
you're
you go to them for the right reasons,
yeah, if
if
you
you
go for
go
the
to them
right
for the
reasons,
right
obviously.
reasons.
Yeah, yeah, but you're gonna pick up some nuggets. So those will be my things, honestly. I mean, I don't want to overdo it, but I mean those would be my real life, I would do those things.
Love it, love
Yeah.
it. It's just being in the moment, be present, and you know, be able to be open about learning.
Yeah.
Not the one thing I know everything, and what I'm doing is right. You know what? It's amazing, and
Yeah.
that's one of the main things that turn me turn my attention to you because I'm watching all this stuff and I'm going, this man is rocking it, but he's doing it in totally different ways
Yeah.
that, and in an area that, we survived COVID. We this, but we never use that as an excuse for not to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah. 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 I would say, I mean, I feel like again, like I say, there's tons of people out there kind of teaching different things, but never stop being a student. Like you can always learn. I mean, you're always gonna learn something. You're always gonna learn something. I mean, I've learned so much this year that like sometimes it's hard to even just process like where do you start? Because it's just like, man, like it's and again for me, I've only been doing this full time for 4 years. So I don't really know everything. Like I don't, I don't know it all. So yeah, there's books, there's seminars, there's a lot of it's out there. A lot of it's out there. Like John Simmons said in his interview, like a lot of it's right in your face. You know
It's
what I mean?
right there. All you got to do is
Right in your
watch.
face. Yeah. And if you don't find it, there is somebody in your market who is approachable. Or even if they're not in your market, maybe they're the next market over. Because I get guys in my DM all the time. Hey man, how'd you get to be such a good MC? How do I start a team? Different things. And I'm like, well, hey man, like, what do you think about this coach? Like, I share what I can. If you hit me, I'll share with you. I don't care.
Absolutely. See, it was funny. Matt asked me who my mentors were,
Oh
and there's
wow.
a few. You know, I've got my boy Mitch Taylor's my sales guru. Of course, Mike Walter, one of my dearest friends in the entire world. And when we're out in Vegas, I'm going to do one with Mike the night before the show, the night before he speaks. This man and Randy Bartlett, Jeffrey Craig Cyber from Total Entertainment,
Yeah.
and Think Tank. All these guys that just Bobby Morgenstein, Bobby's a brother,
Yeah.
and these are all people that I looked up to when I first started going to these shows.
Mm.
And I was one of those guys that, look at my calendar. My calendar speaks for itself. What am I going to learn from this?
Yeah.
Toryn, my first one was in 1997. My jaw dropped to the floor going, oh, baby, you got way too much to learn.
Yeah.
Start learning, opening your ears. But that's the whole thing. Always be open.
Yeah.
Always be open to learning. And all the folks you met, Joe Bunn, Brian, Jason Janite. Jason Janite did my Desi, my older son's wedding.
Wow.
It'll be 11 years. Yeah, he became part of the family immediately because he just ripped it apart.
Yeah.
And it's just these guys, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
But the one point that I love the most is just be present and never stop learning.
Yeah. 100%.
Never, ever stop learning.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, it's there's tons of stuff out here, I mean, everybody learns different, but for me, those are the things that I enjoy and gravitate towards. But again, never stop, because you don't know it all. Like, I mean, I even hear people who are doing, like I say, again, way better than what we're doing, and they're still learning. I can see where they're still like, they didn't know that yesterday. They didn't know that 30 minutes ago. You know what I mean? And we live in such different times when we're dealing with people and, emotions and just so many different things that, like, you got to stay on top of it. And always be always.
And that was social media.
Oh yeah.
Social media could be great for you, but it also could be bad for you too. It all depends on what you put online and this and the other thing.
Yeah.
I've done over 2,700 weddings and a bunch of other things. I learn something new every single day.
Got it. Yeah.
What you want to do, and this, you see this. What are you going to do that's going to separate you from the person that is right down the street from you or in your market? What are you going to do different? Not equipment, not anything.
Yeah.
But what are you going to bring to the table as a human being that's going to make their heart full?
Yep. 100%. Because now you think about it, like, and this because you've been in this industry so long. Anybody can buy gear. Like, and now you don't even have to have the money all up front to buy the gear.
That's right.
So that can't be your separator. Like, that cannot be your separator. That's not your differentiator. So, you got to dig deep to figure out what it is. But there are good people that are helping you to craft that story.
Absolutely.
So, you just got to find out what works for you. And roll with that. Yeah.
Well, my friends, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up real quick. But
oh man, we're out of time already. I didn't even get
I know. I want them to know, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Because you want to be in touch with this man.
Yes, sir.
You want to be in touch with this man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, if you're coming through Atlanta, this is definitely who you got to talk to. So I would say we're everywhere at Exquisite Sounds ENT. I mean, literally everywhere. Like, that's the website, that's the YouTube, that's the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like, that's everywhere. If you want to get at me personally, again, everywhere at DJ Toryn L. So, I mean, that's the website, Instagram, Facebook. Like, we're pretty easy to find. If anybody wants to reach out to me, obviously, I mean, our numbers, like, again, everywhere. But I'm always open to a conversation. I mean, if you're coming through and you need something, or I mean, I've had people call and say, hey man, what's a good restaurant? I'm not saying that's what we're here for, but like, that's what we're here for, So, we're open. And if I can help, if somebody's got a question about something, that I can help, or, feel free to let me know. I'm always down.
Awesome. My friend, it was listen, again, we could have been on here for an hour and a half and never stopped.
Oh yeah.
And for those of you folks that are out there listening, for those of you that will be listening and watching, this is a man that you want to know everything the man does. And Toryn, I'm hopeful I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. I'm going to probably take a day trip down to Boca for when you guys are down. You're going to be down there, right?
Yep, I'm there.
When you guys are down in Boca, I'm going to probably try and make my way down there. But my friends, Toryn Lankford.
Thank you, sir.
Toryn Lankford, so much. Exquisite Sounds, Atlanta, Georgia. Next week, from Jersey, an old friend of mine, Mr. Jack Bermeo, is going to be on with me.
Oh, nice.
Toryn, do you know Jack?
Oh, yeah, I do know Jack. Ask Jack where he got those Air Force Ones from the collective for me, if you will.
Got you, got you. I will ask him that, but he's next week. And again, thank you all for watching. And Toryn, again, my best to you, my best to their family, everything. We will see you all soon. Next week, 9 o'clock, Mr.
All right.
Jack Bermeo.
That's right.
John
Y'all
Young,
tune
thank
in.
you.
All right.
Toryn,
Thank you,
you're
sir.
the man.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Good night, everybody.
Okay.